Time for Extra Time with Ali Moreno and Aage Fjortoft. We've had a couple of Bundesliga questions to kick off this edition. Jan, for you first. Mohamed Shakil says, when Lucien Favre was sacked, Dortmund were just 3 points behind Bayern Munich, which is now 10 points. Do you think they made a mistake and should have waited for the remaining 6 months of the season to make a decision? He was clearly better than Edin Terzic.
Absolutely, but they wanted a change, and we know the dynamic of football. You are under pressure, you want to do something, but it's also a fact, the table. And he has had 7 games now, 1-3, 1 draw, and he has lost 3 of them. And they are now 10 points as we speak. Behind Bayern, it could be 13 if Bayern beat Schalke tomorrow. So then it's failed, and now their light must be set on Azor, Sebastian Kehl, Watzke, Matthias Sammer. So at the moment, that hasn't paid out. And they say he will keep him for the rest of the season. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, we've got another question for you, actually, from Pearson McDonald. It's another German-related one.
Okay.
Jan, if Chelsea FC sack Frank sometime this season, do you think that there is merit in them turning to a German and/or a Bundesliga head coach for the position?
I know where they want to go, because if they should sack Frank Lampard now, there is only more or less one big coach that is available, and that's Thomas Tuchel. We know that the representatives of Thomas Tuchel have been in a dialogue with Chelsea. Does that mean Frank Lampard will be sacked? That I don't know. But you need a coach then to be available. And at the moment, there are not many of them. Thomas Tuchel could fit the bill. He could also fit the Chelsea bill. So yes, Thomas Tuchel could be at one stage the new manager of Chelsea Football Club.
Could you see that, Ale?
Yeah, but I think a lot of things got to go very wrong at Chelsea for them to take that final step. And I know things haven't been going well for Chelsea lately. But man, you don't just get rid of Frank Lampard. I think it's going to take some time still. And I don't think it happens in the middle of the year either.
OK, let's stick with you then, Ali. Frank McManaman says, will Man City be able to keep up their great run of form now that De Bruyne will be out for around 6 weeks? Is this the perfect opportunity for Manchester United to take the lead in the title race?
Well, technically, they are in the lead. But yeah, I take Frank's point here in suggesting that it seems lined up for Manchester United, that if there was ever an opportunity to find some results that create some separation, that this would be the moment, because, well, you would assume that there's going to be a letdown without Kevin de Bruyne on the field for Manchester City. But I have to tell you, Manchester City and Pep Guardiola have found ways without Kun Agüero, who's also absent because of COVID, and they have found ways throughout the season in just defending a lot better than they ever have under Pep Guardiola. And in the end, I think that's what's going to be the difference for Manchester City. They continue to defend like this with Ruben Diaz, how well he has played. And they're going to give themselves enough opportunities to win games, even if it is 1-0. So Manchester United got to continue winning games, put some pressure on Manchester City, and see if indeed Manchester City can withstand that pressure. But I still think, even without the absence of Kevin de Bruyne, that Manchester City may just be the favorite. Slight, but may just be the favorite.
I think Manchester United are actually the favourites for Jan, though, isn't that right? Would this help them out, the fact that Kevin de Bruyne will be missing for a while for City?
Well, we are a small nation. We will always support our fellow countrymen, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I spoke to Ole Gunnar today. We made an interview before the FA Cup on Sunday that we have here in Norway. But I agree on the things are doing at the moment. Van Dijk out for Liverpool, Wardy for Leicester, and now De Bruyne for Manchester City. But I think that they're well advised, Manchester United, to concentrate on themselves. I mean, they found a way. They found a good way to play. I think they were solid against Fulham. But there are so many teams up there. We're not even talking about Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool will come, Leicester, Everton, Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham, Mourinho is there. I mean, this is an open race, and for everybody who loves football and have other favorite teams away from that gang of clubs, then we will say it's a fantastic year of the Premier League.
Well, the next question actually involves Liverpool and Mourinho. Ahmed Habab says, how is no one making a bigger fuss about Klopp's tantrums? If it were Mourinho or Pep, it would have been a bigger deal. Do you think so?
Well, the thing is that it's easy to pick on Mourinho whenever he goes crazy because he has been going crazy for a while. And the attitude sometimes petulant and arrogant and what have you, and the way that he has dealt with the media in the past. And so there is far more background in terms of what Mourinho has done for somebody to pick at and say, there's Mourinho complaining again, or there's Guardiola complaining again. What I would say about Jurgen Klopp is that it's starting to turn to where it's cute when he was complaining, or it was cute when he was jumping and celebrating, or he was running to the stands or turning to the fans, and the passion. That whole passionate approach of Jurgen Klopp that has been cute for a while, because the team is not winning, and then that passion seems to be turning to, well, he's a little whiny now. He's just complaining about this, that, and the other, and we don't have enough players, and we don't have enough rest, and he's complaining about the coverage of the team and TV pundits and things that he wasn't getting involved with before. Now he seems to be preoccupied, and I don't think it's a coincidence with the fact that it all seems to be coming along the same time that his team is struggling to score goals and struggling to win games. Frustration will show itself, and Jurgen Klopp is no stranger to that right now.
All right, next up, Jan, Ritvik Gautam says, how does the dressing room react when the rumours of the manager getting sacked start gathering momentum? Have you been in that situation?
Very good. Yeah, it's a very good question, because sometimes in a dressing room, it's funny about footballers. I mean, they say we are not the most intelligent guys, but we are very good at sniffing and understanding, analysing the things between the board, the manager, and sometimes that could be unrest in a dressing room, make an unrest in the dressing room, because you kind of hide yourself behind the manager because it's the manager's fault. You read the papers, you will talk to agents, family, friends, people in and around the club, and you can that could be an excuse. We are bad at the moment, like Dortmund at the moment. They can say, yeah, we are bad, but we've got an inexperienced coach, or we're not compact enough. We don't defend on set pieces. We can just blame it on the manager. If you have a great manager who's strengthened by your board all the time, then the highlight will be on yourself. Having said that, it's also a lot of managers that sometimes get away with looking like they're always talking we, and they are always thinking me. They followed my tactic in the first half, but they didn't in the second half. Okay, is that the leader that you want? But it's interesting question, because in the dressing room there are always this talking, and a famous Scottish manager, Jock Stein, he said, I mean, the philosophy I have is to keep the 6-1 in the team who hates me away from the 5 who haven't made a decision yet. And I think that just sums up a football team.
Did you used to be able to sniff out when that was happening, Ale?
Well, I think when you've been part of a team, you not only know your teammates very well, but you also know the backroom staff very well, and you know the people that work in the office very well. And so things start filtering down from the office onto the backroom staff, onto the players, and you start saying, and we're not playing well, and that guy's not scoring goals, and you start adding things, and in the end you know that it's inevitable that something's about to happen. You also know that there's 26 players, 30 players in the locker rooms, and they can't get rid of all of us, so this guy's about to go. When that happens, then I think the most basic instinct for a player is to protect yourself. You try to see, okay, what can I control? What is the one thing that I can control? And okay, my work rate, my effort out there, doing my job. But I'm not concerned about what that guy is doing. I'm concerned about how do I take care of my individual job. And that only serves to make the things even worse for the team, because as in a team sport, you need everybody to work for each other. It doesn't quite work that way when you are expecting the manager to get fired.
I love that protect yourself. Said like a true goal scorer. Selfish.
Yeah, but I will say, because Ali and me, we are very polite now, because we have had a long we had a long football career, and sometimes there are cliques in the dressing rooms as well among the players who will try to get the manager out. And I confess, in January of 2021, I've been part of those kind of actions in my football career, and the manager got fired. So sometimes it could turn around the both ways.
I see, two of them selfish in this aspect.
Little did we know that it was going to take a pandemic, COVID 2021, for Jan to come forward and say, it was my fault. I did it.
Well,
I didn't say who.
You didn't. But seeing as though you are revealing your secrets, Jan, this is perfect for the next one, because Elahi Noor says, what's the secret to Jan's perfect long hair? I guess being tension-free and smiling helps.
Yeah, it helps to smile. But when I played football, I always wanted to be that football player with that long hair that always was a cool guy. I wanted to be the George Best and all these wild people. But I was so annoyed in games. If my hair was a bit longer, I always thought, well, that was the reason I didn't score. So I always had short hair when I played. And after I get older, then I have the long hair. I look like an old rocker from another time sometimes. But yeah, I keep my long hair now. I played in Germany, and everybody had the same haircut. Even in TV, they had the same haircut. And I thought, well, I'll let my hair go long now. So that was another secret here.
I have to say, I like to smile. It doesn't help with my hair. that's falling whether I like it or not.
Well, that's all right. You were still scoring the goals and doing well, Ale. Last one then. In order from best to worst, rate Chelsea signing, says Sufyan. Well, that's a bit mean, isn't it?
Hello.
And they're asking me. I know what they're asking me.
Okay, they're asking you, so we'll let you answer then.
Yeah, well, I can take the first part of it. I'm just saying they're asking me because I said, yeah, you signed Timo Werner. He will score a lot of goals for you. Yeah, you signed Kai Havertz. He's one of the greatest talent Germany got at the moment. And he is. He's been a bit unlucky with form, adjustment, COVID he had. But I don't want to rate them yet. Let's give them a bit more than a few months before we do the final rating.
Shall we be kind, unlike you guys were in the dressing room when you heard the manager was getting
I am
sacked?
polite. I don't get people fired, unlike Jan. I don't do that.
You are not honest.
I don't get people fired. My hair is falling. I don't know what's happening.
Not honest.
2021 is when Jan reveals his true self. Maybe 2022 is when Ale will.
Well, I got to tell you this. If I were a coach that was fired while Jan was playing for me, and I'm watching this, I'm like, wait a minute. That guy, he was a guy. He got me fired. What?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I was sitting behind a big screen, a big table with my cat, and I was thinking of.
World domination.
And then I said, can't refuse, and out.
Yeah, well, Jan, you've said it now. It's on the record. So if you do become a manager, they'll all be looking. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us on the latest edition of Extra Time. From myself, Kay Murray, Ali Moreno, and Jan Aage Fjortoft, thanks for being with us. Don't forget, ESPN FC is available daily on ESPN+.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.